Hello everyone, T-Man978. Amazon finally got their shipment of Deluxe Class Transformers CHUG Mirage. Instead of this being a chill review, it's going to be a chill comparison review against him and Deluxe Class Transformers Classics Mirage right here with Deluxe Class Transformers Combiner Wars Mirage. Grab your popcorn, relax. After this, we'll get right into things.
T-Man978 Chill Review.
Transformers Generation 1 Autobot Mirage was characterized as an aristocrat, someone who was well off before the Transformers War. Unfortunately for him, he was forced into the war, and he wound up on Earth, and he doesn't really want to be there. He longs for the days where he can return to a peaceful Cybertron. He was characterized as having the special ability to cloak himself completely. He could turn completely invisible in robot mode and in vehicle mode. It wasn't stated whether or not he could do it indefinitely. I don't think he could. I think he could only do it for short bursts. The original toy looked like this in robot mode and like this in vehicle mode. He was an F1 racer. Now these guys took that and they vary upon it in several different ways. Transformers Classics is an updated as of 2006. He was supposed to be what Transformers would be like if they came out in 2006. So the design is highly modified. You have some of the similar design cues, but it is greatly different. Combiner Wars took G1, but they made him into a combiner, so certain aspects of his transformation couldn't remain the same because you had to accommodate for the combiner part right there. And in fact, this would be his chest if they would have kept the same similar type of transformation, but it winds up being his backpack here. Transformers Siege is what Mirage would look like before he left for Earth and took in Earth alternate mode. So yeah, it's very similar to the G1, but greatly different. His overall profile to me fits with the G1 toy because of his accessories. Here is a side-by-side comparison of all of their faces from the front and from the rear. In my opinion, the Classics rear of the head loses due to the way it looks. There's no detail back there. It's just that light piping. In my personal opinion, they all have decent to nice face sculpts, but the Classics one has the added benefit of light piping if you can actually get enough light source behind his head. This little piece of plastic is really dark, so it is kind of hard to get it to illuminate. Luckily, I have this little light pen right here. In robot mode, when it comes to varying paint apps, I believe Classics take the cake, where you see all these details and even the guns and on his feet because of the car mode details. Now, the Siege one has added details like right there, and all types of varying paint apps or different colors. But where Combiner Wars wins is every piece of white on his body except this white right here, and the white of his hand is painted. Like, we complain about Combiner Wars, but they put a lot of money into the paint. Like I'm saying, even the thigh is fully painted. Here's the silver down there, silver right there. And I believe, I could be wrong, but the head looks like to be painted blue besides the silver. Articulation. Classic Mirage's head is on a ball hinge, but he can barely look up. Combiner Wars can look up a little bit. Classics can look down quite a bit, even into his chest. And Combiner Wars can look down that much. Classics can get some play side to side out of that ball. Combiner Wars not so much. I didn't include Siege because he just has a head swivel, so I can just rotate left and right. Unfortunately, due to the way Classic's body is designed, you see his like crazy hunchback type situation. The head rotates at a weird angle. I mean, that's still good looking. Of course, Combiner Wars rotates normally, and like I said, that's all he has is a swivel on the Siege. They're all capable of getting 90 degrees of motion on their shoulder joints, but Classics Mirage has a secondary hinge right here that lets the shoulders go up like that, and Combiner Wars has a hinge that lets it go down, so due to transformation. They all have bicep rotation, and while we're here, each and every one of them has a hollow point right here where their hand transforms in the inside. Also, while we're here, we see that Combiner Wars bends more than 90 degrees while they just bend 90 degrees. But Classics has another hinge right here that lets him get his arm double jointed. They all have waist swivel. If you want to say it is, you can do this and you can kind of say that that's ab crunch, but it untransforms his chest on the Classics version. Similar deal for Siege. You can pop that up and you can rotate him forward like this and say that that's ab crunch, but it's untransforming his back like that. They all pretty much kick forward 90 degrees at the hip. They can kick back 90 degrees, but Classics can kick back way freaking more than that because he doesn't have this hip skirt, which is also posable. He doesn't have that in the back. As far as thigh rotation, Classics has none. He just has this play with the ball joint right there. But Combiner Wars swivels like this on a mushroom peg, and this one swivels on a different type of mushroom peg. It's more hindered due to the design of the front of the leg guard, where this you can just completely spin it around. When I first got this one out of package, I had to put floor polish on it because it kept popping off. The Neon Combiner Wars been slightly less than 90 degrees, I want to say, but right here you get 90 degrees plus an extra joint right there if you want to call that a double jointed knee. And Siege bends 90 degrees. Combiner Wars doesn't really have any foot articulation unless you untab this, and that's a forward toe action right there if you want to call it that. This guy right here takes the title of being the most posable Classics figure that came out during that first run. His feet can do this, so you can get ankle pivot. They go down, they go forward a bit. It also bends right here. So yeah, because it's on a ball joint. So you get all types of stuff with that. This foot on the Siege can come forward, can go back. You got all that in the way right there, really. And he does have ankle pivot that comes all the way in extremely. And I didn't show this off, but all of them have wrists that just hinge in like that. They do not rotate. Accessories. Classics has this gun right here that becomes part of his vehicle mode. It's decorated in whatever the heck this says right here. Lithium drivetrain. And he does not have a 5mm port. That is smaller than 5mm. Combiner Wars has this blade gun that was probably more meant for the Stunticon figure that he was retooled, repainted from. So yeah, you can make it double as a sword right here. So it looks honestly more like a sword than a gun. It kind of points up, which is unfortunate. He also has this hand-foot gun as all the combiners came with. So he can port it anywhere on his body that has weapon ports, and he can actually hold it as a gun. Siege has the most G1 looking accessories. Like, it's almost 1-to-1 with the G1 toy. This can actually pop off, so you can put this in his hand as a gun if you like. You can put it in any port all over the body. That fits right there. And he has this handgun that looks a ton like the G1 toy. So that is cool right there. And of course, this can port anywhere all over his body the way you would want. He also has, look, there's ports there, and a port on his back to go in line with the Siege gimmick right there. And in fact, you could, if you want, put this right here into his shoulder to have that action going on. Before I forget, he does have this transformation to act like a butterfly joint. Overall, the Classic seems to be the better poser with the fake double jointed knees, and he has actual double jointed elbows, and that shoulder articulation is nice. Combiner Wars is probably the weakest poser due to the fact that he doesn't have any type of ankle pivot, but all of them have a problem as far as looking up, so that's a major problem for me. I hate when a character can't look up. End of the day though, their posability is still comparable because due to the gangly looking body, he just looks awkward depending on how you pose him anyway, so it's almost like it doesn't make a difference. Unfortunately, due to him being an old type design, this swivel right here is loose on mine. I need to figure out how to get some floor polish up in there on that pin. All right, transformations. The Siege figure is the only one where I'll really get into the details of the transformation, since that's the new one. But Siege and Classics have the most involved transformation out of all of them. They are definitely the ones with the most steps, while Combiner Wars is way more simple. But not to say that they are difficult, they just have more steps. As you can see, I'm getting through this pretty simple. But probably wasn't trying to talk about different stuff while I'm doing this. Probably could have been finished a little bit quicker. Final step, we put this right here. I mean, it's still a car without it, luckily, but we can put this here to finish off the look that they were going for. Combiner Wars, super duper simple. I should have turned the Classics head around as well, but I didn't, unfortunately. But this may as well be the G1 toy. It's so freaking simple. It's like one step away from being the freaking G1 toy. As far as weapon storage, you can do this and have that going on. But unfortunately, this just kind of chills out. I've never liked weapon storage for this. I always wound up just porting it back here. With Siege being the new guy, I'll go step by step. I took his weapons off already. I'm going to take the hands and flip them in like that. Take this part of the belly, detach that, and just leave it dangling like that. Now, back here, we can kind of swing this up, rotate the legs like this, push the feet up like this. Let's go ahead, do that on the other side. Push the foot up like that, and kind of bring this transparent part up here. Swing this that way, swing this that way while moving this up out of the way. It's kind of difficult right here. Now we can start connecting that together and connecting this together. It honestly feels a little flimsy. You have to watch where you squeeze because you'll make it just come completely all the way apart. Up here, we can start moving the arms forward right here. Bring that right here. Don't rotate the head, but do this. Now rotate this way and get these two clear tabs into these two ports right there. It's easier said than done because, like I said, this all feels kind of a little bit flimsy, to be honest with you. This is the most flimsy feeling Siege Deluxe that they put out. Now for the arms, you need to rotate them in this orientation. Bring the elbows down like that. Kind of tab these together, and there's a little port underneath of here that we need to force that down in. Now bring these down, and I cannot get this to pinch together flush. Transformed this a couple times and I can't do it. The main thing that stops it from being flush is those two little clear tabs that you connect, that are at the top of this transparent part that connects to this white part. But now it is a vehicle, and weapon storage, he has two ports up here. I'll show it without this, but I just wanted to show the weapon ports. Now the Classics version, it can roll. It looks like a futuristic F1 racer. Inside of the legs, they hid this right here, these tailpipes, which is cool. Everything's painted. It has a ton of racing details, just like the original G1 toy. This green thing right here says plasma injection energy. You see the FP racing right there? It has a rub symbol that still functions. Wiki spark plugs. This sticker right here, which was also there in robot mode, I put that there. I forgot to mention that. You have the 26, and you can see some of these that were in there in car mode. From the bottom, it doesn't really look like a robot. They did a good job of covering things up. Combine the Wars. Let's get this crazy stuff off because it doesn't look good. You see what kind of resembles a steering wheel right there. They painted everything right here. 62 instead of 26 right there. I'm not sure which is accurate. I feel like it's the 26 as far as the G1 toy. Like I said, all of this white detail is paint. And yeah, it kind of looks more like drag strip with only 2 wheels with only 4 wheels instead of 6 than it does Mirage to me. But when you look at it, you see the color, you see that it's an F1 racer. It's Mirage. Siege. You have this weird stuff hanging out back there, which looks like it should be up front. Let's take these weapons off. Yeah, you see a lot of details just hanging out the back. So it's almost like kibble, but it's a Cybertronian vehicle. In this mode, you do see that this plastic right here is really transparent, which kind of mimics his ability to disappear. I like that they put the extra effort to paint this right here, but these are all clip-on wheels, and you know how that works. What I mean is clip-on wheels are easier to pull off by accident. On the packaging, this looks to be painted white, but they didn't do that here. So yeah, I wish they would have made this silver right here, and I honestly wish they would have made the arms silver. I'm not sure if that's accurate. The arms are probably white in the cartoon, but they just left it unpainted gray. So there you go with that. And yes, this rolls rather freaking nicely. Here's a comparison with all 3 of them to show you who's the longest, and Siege is definitely shorter than the rest of them. Here's what Combiner Wars looks like at the bottom, which is also a clean vehicle. You can see the head right here, but that's really clean. And here's what Siege looks like at the bottom. Now, if you want to, you can kind of jam this up in here if you want that hidden under there, but I can't get it flush, so it's scraped, so that doesn't really work. So there's no real way of hiding things under here, unfortunately. If you wanted to do something like that, I just wanted to point it out. It's not really something that takes points away from it, because you still have the ports right there. Of course, Combiner Wars has the extra ability to become an arm and a leg. You can watch the individual review for this if you want to see all that. I'm not going to get into all that because they can't do it, so yeah. End of the day though, as far as which one of these I would probably sell first, it'll be Combiner Wars. I really like the way the Combiner Wars one is painted, but it's kind of weak in the other 2 modes to me. I just like him the least, to be honest. I really love the classics. I've loved this one for years. If I sell this, it would be a miracle. Like, I would really just be selling everything the day I sell him. And this one I really like. The vehicle mode is Cybertronian. I don't really necessarily like that this is transparent. I don't like that this will not connect together. This split right here doesn't seem to want to stay tight either, so that is frustrating, but I still like it. This Cybertronian form seems a little bit more rugged and tough than he does in any type of Earth form, which is cool. And I love his robot mode, and I love these weapons. The fact that this is gray plastic and they painted this black, I feel like they went the extra mile there, because they don't usually paint the weapons in this line. But with my thoughts out of the way, hell yeah, at the end of the day, this is still a good figure. All of them are good figures, to be honest. But y'all let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Which one would you keep as your Chug Generations Mirage? Anyway, I'm going to have a link in the description for the Siege one, because I know that's a link that's available in this. I'm pretty sure it's still retail price. So check my description for that. Thank y'all for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.